Oh, I want to read this Drake
Drake's
thing.
latest antics might be his most bold, but also his most insecure move of the entire year. It has been months since—
Dude, f that shit. You just made a song calling me a pedophile that went viral. Like, what am I supposed to do? Honestly, dude, I think he could win this lawsuit. I think he could win the lawsuit. I swear to God, I think he could. The record label should never have allowed that. Kendrick should have released that independently. I think UMG's in trouble for letting that.
To last update you guys on Drake, and back in the summer he was trying to make it seem like he was unbothered at every turn, going bowling under the name 69 God, trying to show the world he wasn't a deadbeat father, and of course striking the duck lips pose time and time again.
But I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna come to a point in life where people you thought were friends, or people you thought were close to you, they might switch up, they might try to move funny with you, they might stab you in the back, they might do a lot of things to you. Sometimes it's you alone with your thoughts, sometimes you know what, it's all right.
But now it looks like he might be, quite possibly, the most bothered man on the entire planet. For those of you that hadn't heard, Drake is now handing out lawsuits in regards to the Not Like Us diss record released against him by Kendrick.
Bro, it's not suing over a diss, bro. Like, dude, calling someone a pedophile. Like, dude, I've been to prison for 2 years. I've seen people die over it, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've literally seen people in prison get beaten to death. I've seen this shit happen. And, like, it made news. And, like, motherfuckers got life without parole. Like, it was, like, it really, like, I've seen people fight. If me and you are in a prison and one of us calls each other a pedophile in the day room, dude, there has to be a fight. A wife beater is fine. I mean, yeah. In the joint, there's a lot of people that are in there for domestic violence, if you want me to be honest. A lot of domestic cases. So, unfortunately, even though to me, it shouldn't be, it should be put on that level. It's very common. Domestic cases are very, very common. I don't really think Drake's in the wrong for this one. I don't know. It would bother the hell out of me, dude. It would bother the hell out of me if I wasn't a pedophile and there was a song that was about to be played at the Super Bowl in front of the entire planet calling me a pedophile. There's no way I'm taking that laying down. What is he gonna do? Whack him? He can't do anything. He can't kill him. He can't do anything. He's not gonna throw his life away. There's no point in doing that. But I mean, yeah, dude. There's like a video I saw on Twitter where Drake was having pool parties with high schoolers. It was weird, man. And then like one of his friends was saying like age of consent in Canada is like 16. There is some weird shit. But either way, I'm not letting that song get just played into the ground without a fight. That's all I'm saying.
Lamar earlier this year. And he's not even suing because he was being called a PDF. He's suing because he claims that the record label UMG artificially inflated the number of streams on this record using modern day payola and streaming bots. Frozen Moments LLC, which is exclusively owned by Drake, is now asking for a civil RICO to be levied against streaming service Spotify and recording label UMG Recordings. Drake says they conspired to knock him off the top of the mountain due to disagreements about their partnership that he and UMG have maintained for years, and that they used Kendrick and his song Not Like Us as a vehicle to essentially do just that. In the lawsuit, Drake's team points out that Spotify is the biggest music streaming platform on earth, and they immediately paint the ties between them and UMG, noting their ongoing licensing agreements that they've had in place since 2020, and also that Spotify brought UMG at least 19% of their overall revenue in 2023. Basically, he's saying that these two have a
I don't get it. Where does the revenue come from Spotify though? How do they make money from you playing the song? How does the money happen? I don't get it. How do they get paid? How does anyone get paid if I listen to a song on Spotify? How? Ads? What if you... I never get ads on... Oh, because I pay for the subscription. Oh, I forgot. It's like one of them things where it's so cheap, you just buy it, you just get the monthly and you just forget about it. So if I didn't have the monthly, I'd be getting ads on it constantly, right?
Very important partnership. In 2024, UMG did not rely on chance or even ordinary business practices to break through the noise on Spotify and likely other music platforms. It instead launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services and airwaves with a song Not Like Us.
Dude, it might have, bro. It got to like 10 million plays in an hour or two. It could have been botted. It very well could have been botted, but the song was also fucking huge. The thing is, like, whether or not, so maybe it was 5 million in an hour. Maybe you cut the views in half. It's still a huge fucking song. You see what I'm saying? Like, to me, I feel like that's the best, like, take. it's a good song. It's just not. It's not a bad song. I am kind of a Team Drake guy. You know, I've just seen some stuff that just I don't know if I would have done if I was him. Like, but I guess Canada's more liberal with their age of consent or whatever. So I guess it's. I mean, dude, straight up, there were like girls that were literally in high school that had testified or that have stated that they had been to his house for parties multiple times. Obviously, they could have just been there partying or something. I'm just saying, like, that's just not something you should have done.
In order to make that...
Kendrick Lamar makes no good music. Drake is still the best artist of all time. Drake's next to Michael Jackson, Johnny Cash, Elvis. He's that caliber of an artist.
A song go viral, including by using bots and pay-to-play agreements. On information and belief, UMG charged Spotify licensing rates 30% lower than its usual licensing rates for Not Like Us, in exchange for Spotify affirmatively recommending the song to users who are searching for other unrelated songs and artists. Neither UMG nor Spotify disclosed that Spotify had received compensation of any kind in exchange for recommending the song. So Drake is basically claiming that UMG approached Spotify with this offer to make more money off of a hit record than they normally would, or at least to keep a larger percentage of the pie.
Do you mind if I...
Alright, but then the question is, like, how do you know the record was gonna hit, though? My question to the logic of Drake and his team is, and how did you know the record was gonna blow up to the length it did? You could still do all that, and it still doesn't blow up to the level that it did.
All they had to do was use their platform strategically to run the numbers up by boosting the algorithm for the song in an inorganic way. Drake also claims that UMG directly or through Interscope also conspired with and paid currently unknown parties to use quote-unquote bots to artificially inflate and spread Not Like Us and deceive consumers into believing the song was more popular than it was in reality. One individual unknown to Petitioner revealed publicly on a popular podcast that Mr. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth's label, i.e. Interscope, paid him via third parties to use bots to achieve 30 million streams on Spotify in the first days of the release of Not Like Us, with the goal of jumpstarting the song's spread and turning it into a crazy hit on the platform. The whistleblower further revealed that on May 6, 2024, an individual affiliated with Interscope sent him a payment of $2,500 via the digital payments platform Zelle, which is owned by a number of banks, and that he was promised another $2,500.
So how many play bots do you get with $2,500? Drake might be stretching on this one. How many plays are you getting from $2,500? Come on, dude. Tens of millions? Like what?
And a percentage of the song's total sales for this initial push. And the popular podcast that they're talking about is actually DJ Academic's live show that he does. I talked about this apparent whistleblower in one of my last videos about Drake, and the guy didn't really seem to have a lot of merit to his claims.
So somebody reaches out to you for 30 million streams. What'd you tell them? How much money?
So I was promised payments after, but up front I was promised 5K. They sent me 2.5K, and then I was also promised after the song performed, I was also gonna receive, you know, a little percentage of the song, so points on the song.
So you're telling me Drake's team reaches out to you for $5,000 and you just say yes, dude? This is just listen. I'm Drake's side with this. If you're just wanting me to be honest, I just feel like that just doesn't stand up. That doesn't scream. That's the logical, correct answer, though.
Song. They also, the reason they did it is because they also needed that song to win.
It's just hilarious to me that even in the lawsuit itself, they won't mention DJ Academics by name. You know, Drake is fine using DJ Academics to push all this various propaganda on Twitter and YouTube and during his live streams. But then when it comes to giving out an interview or showing love, he's never doing it for academics. He's always doing it for people like Aiden Ross. Recently, he went on XQC. And it's just funny that Academics is his most loyal lapdog, but he literally gets treated like a redheaded stepchild.
He's treating you like how when a thot's in a DM.
Stop.
Yo, I ain't trying to link her tonight. Keeping the book.
That don't make him a bro. Like that.
Act that does, cause when he needs you, he'll send you DMs. He'll play old buddy with you, but he really don't with you. How you showing him mad love? He don't show you no love. You think Drake shows you love?
Drake showed me a lot of love.
How? What's he do to show you love?
I got exclusive info.
Heck, that's not love.
I'm on the end
You're,
of
what,
push-ups.
what do you do with that exclusive info? You say it to the world, you gas it up 10 times more. He's using you as a free a billboard, free promo. Heck, you're the biggest media platform, man.
What that got to do with Drake?
He's
I mean,
so
the fact
hurt.
that this is mentioned in the
He's so
footnotes of
hurt.
the filing is
Aw.
just hilarious. Even academics had to admit it.
That did not look. That was hurtful. That looked like he was so hurt. That wasn't even fun to watch.
At some point that this botting narrative on Spotify was nonsense, and he verified with someone at Spotify who he trusted that the streams were all legit.
I'll be honest with you. I talked to my man from Spotify. I won't say the name right now, but legit Spotify. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what that person on your stream was talking about. Them Kendrick streams is real."
Drake even takes this claim
Right.
further to suggest that Apple even got in on the action. UMG
I
appears
don't
to
know
have used
about
similar
that, man.
tactics
I
with
don't
other
know.
streaming
That's-
services on information and belief.
Play Certified Lover Boy on Spotify. Psst, I see dead people. That's crazy.
But honestly, I would chalk this up to an algorithm mistake. The term certified lover boy is said in Not Like Us, and so Siri took people to that song. You can do this right now with the Drake record. Like today I told Siri to play
That
me
actually is,
Lean In Soda,
insane.
and it pulled up his song Virginia Beach. And here is where Drake really starts to get into the trenches of being down bad, where he starts crying that Not Like Us was being played on the radio an unfair amount of times, and he even claims that UMG was putting Twitter pages on payroll to endorse the song and the video for Not Like Us. Specifically, he lists the Canadian dudes from the NFR podcast. As part of its deal with UMG, the NFR podcast published podcast episodes and other content publicly about the song, like they literally do for almost all major music releases, including all of Drake's. And in a sea change for UMG's internal policy, UMG removed the song's copyright restrictions on YouTube and Twitch, thereby whitelisting the song for the first time in UMG history, which further incentivized influencers to spread the song. This is also another lie, because people ended up getting hit with copyright notices and takedowns left and right for the Not Like Us song and music video. And to me, even if all of this is true about paying off the Twitter pages and the podcast, it's like, okay, is a label that crazy for paying for promotion? Like, this is something that has happened since the dawn of entertainment. And then this lawsuit lists off the accomplishments and the accolades that this song has garnered, with its sheer numbers as it smashed a ton of Drake's previously held records. And this is where things get extra messy because Interscope gets directly involved. UMG's artificially inflate the popularity of Not Like Us were motivated, at least in part, by the desire of executives at Interscope to maximize their profits. UMG executives have an annual incentive program pursuant to which they are rewarded for meeting and surpassing sales and profit projections, among other metrics. The incentives are largely based on the specific UMG division, rather than the performance of UMG more generally. For example, the annual incentive or bonus of Interscope CEO John Janik is based 90% on the financial success of Interscope and only 10% of the financial success of UMG generally. Thus, on information and belief that Mr. Janik and other executives at Interscope have been incentivized to maximize the financial success of Interscope through the promotion of Not Like Us and its revitalizing impact on the artist's prior recording catalog, including his first 5 studio albums, which are owned by Interscope. Well, it's like, duh, if one of my big legacy act artists catches the hottest record of the year, of course we're gonna push it. And the thing is, it's not like Kendrick's other albums have not maintained their place on the charts. I'm pretty sure that Good Kid, Mad City has like the longest run on the charts of any rap album of all time. And the other thing is that this is something that Drake himself has likely benefited from time and time again. And Drake has apparently been seeking damages over Not Like Us and has been in contact with UMG trying to work something out. UMG allegedly refused to engage in negotiations. Instead, UMG has pointed the finger at Mr. Duckworth, insisting that Drake should initiate legal action against Mr. Duckworth rather than themselves, and even threatened to bring its own legal claims against Mr. Duckworth if Drake wants to pursue claims against UMG. Mr. Duckworth, for those of you who are unaware, is Kendrick, so basically since Drake is going through with this lawsuit, UMG might be investigating Kendrick themselves, which is ultimately what I think Drake wants, is to try and kill these two birds with one stone. Streaming and licensing is a zero-sum game. Every time a song breaks through, it means that another artist does not. UMG's choice to saturate the music market with Not Like Us comes at the expense of its other artist, like Drake. As Drake is the petitioner's sole owner, which is the LLC I was talking about earlier, and the petitioner owns the copyright to Drake's entire catalog, petitioner suffered economic harm as a result of UMG's scheme. I don't know, I just think it's such a move for Drake to do this, because even if he is telling the truth about everything going on in the background, these are also things that he has been the beneficiary of for decades. Does nobody remember when Spotify would ride Drake's tip and place him as the entire homepage for every single user on the platform? Was that not boosting his algorithm? I mean, they had to give refunds after that shit. It was so bad. It's just crazy that for decades they constantly promoted Drake like no other artist. He is the artist on the most viral playlist. He is shoved in our face constantly. But now that someone else is getting that same shine, it's like his ego can't take it. He's acting like the kid who goes home and cries to his mom, and then they sue for assault after he gets his ass whooped, even though he was the one who was instigating the fight. He was begging Kendrick to drop, and now this fool is out here suing people because he lost. UMG responded to these claims, by the way, and they say, the suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue. We employ the highest ethical practices in our marketing and promotional campaigns.
Like, there's no motive for them to do that,
absurd
though.
legal arguments in this
there's not enough of a
submission
financial motive
can
for
mask
UMG
the fact
to
that
do
fans
that.
choose the music they want to hear. And it's been rumored that Drake has been at war with UMG for years, and Kanye was even out here saying things like this.
Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucien and Universal.
Wow.
He's like, you know, like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. My daddy, Drake has a rich baby daddy.
Now, obviously, Kendrick recently dropped his surprise album GMX completely out of nowhere. Like, I'm talking about no promotion, no rollout, nothing. Just here you go, damn. And as a fan of Kendrick, I thought it was really good. It had some for sure hits with Squabble Up and Luther, and it was a cool 44-minute project. I really felt like this was kind of just an ode to California culture in general, but my initial thought is that Kendrick likely has more coming than this before the Super Bowl performance. The night it dropped, Drake would actually go on XQC's stream acting extra salty, and this was his initial message to the world.
I'm Drake, this is XQC, real streaming legend. Me, I do music, in case you didn't know. I'm here, as you can see, fully intact. Mind, body, and soul. You need facts to take me out. Fairy tales won't do it.
As you guys can see, Drake cut off the braids and now appears to be balding from the stress of this battle. He would also break down every time XQC accidentally played artists he has a problem with, like The Weeknd or Future.
You have to switch this on, though. We're real sixers. We're real sixers. They're real six-side. We don't listen to that.
And overall, he still seems to be the same fragile guy we've always known since he was in a wheelchair on Degrassi. This is the most Karen, sore loser moment I've ever seen a rapper go through.
Yeah,
I mean, he did all of this exact same shit to Meek Mill back in the day. Back to Back was all over the radio. It was being promoted by Spotify. It was playing at house parties and sport events. And now that the rabbit has the gun, well, Drake doesn't seem to like that very much. And he basically wants to take his ball home after getting skunked 21 to Zippo. I mean, I have to think that Drake does have stronger evidence than this DJ Academics live stream. For him to put that 30% number out there when it comes to the licensing agreement makes me think that he has to have some pretty bona fide information at his disposal. So we'll see how this plays out. Did Not Like Us definitely damage his career and his reputation? Absolutely. Did it cause him future financial harm? Yes. But that's what happens when you get your ass beat in a battle. I mean, look at what happened to Ja Rule after 50 Cent. I don't know. I want to know what you guys think about this entire situation down below.
Ja Rule was
also
never
want to thank you guys for watching today's video,
Drake's
dropping a like
level,
and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy, the Tan
Drake
Superman.
is just not the same.
And some other rap lawsuits out here need to be
Drake
covered.
is just not the same after that.
Peace.
Drake is just not the same after what happened.